Police are here to protect us. Police are here to protect us.
All right, hands on top of your head.
Yes, sir. I'm so scared.
It's okay. It's okay.
They would never harm or harass us in any way.
Everybody in the car, hands outside the window. Hands outside. Maintain your hands outside.
And they would never jeopardize our lives.
If you reach in that car, you may get shot, so be careful.
And if they do pull a gun on us for no reason, they have a perfectly good explanation.
I put a gun on my son for no reason, dog.
Can I explain to you?
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm your typical police bootlicker. I support the thin blue line no matter what. They're our best defense against the bad guys out there who mean to do us harm. Wait, what's this? A Northern California man who was left paralyzed after he was slammed to the ground during a traffic stop won a $20 million settlement. It's one of the largest in the state's history. But the Fraternal Order of Police and the police unions don't care about that. It could be $200 million. It doesn't come out of their pockets, and it'll never jeopardize their pensions. Gregory Gross, an Army veteran who lives in Yuba City, sued the police department in 2022 after police officers used pain compliance techniques and expressed disbelief when he repeatedly cried out, "I can't feel my legs." Police officers also dismissed Gross when he said he couldn't breathe while being held face down on the lawn outside, wait for it, a hospital. Gross was accused of driving drunk and causing a slow speed collision in April of 2020. As a result of the stop and the loving kindness of the police department, Mr. Gross was left with a broken neck and he underwent 2 surgeries to fuse his spine. He said the officer's tyrannical use of force left him unable to walk or even care for himself, and now he needs nursing assistance for the rest of his life. Way to go, thin blue line. I mean, who's with me? Hello? Hello? The sponsor for this video is Virtual Shield VPN. Stay with me, guys, because I get it. A lot of people get up there and pitch their products and services, but the only ones you'll ever hear me recommend are the ones that I personally use and am impressed with. And I've been using Virtual Shield for years, even before they sponsored me. Now, I don't like being spied on by anybody, not by my internet service provider, and definitely not by my government. But the only way to safeguard yourself against being spied on is to become invisible. But it's more than that. You got to hide your identity, your activity, and your location while you're online. With Virtual Shield, they, whoever they is, or is that whoever they are, won't know who you are, what you're doing, or where you're located. You can even manually change your ping location to anywhere on the planet. Right now, I'm in Australia. Oh, now I'm in Japan. Now I'm pinging from Germany. Go to virtualshield.com/here's the deal and you'll get 73% off. The link is in the description. Now, let's get into the video. Now, I'm sure this is just an isolated incident. I mean, cops don't routinely abuse their power, do they? According to an internal investigation, Connecticut State Police submitted at least 26,000 fake traffic tickets from 2014 to 2021. The audit revealed that 387 troopers and constables had submitted thousands of fake tickets. Estimates revealed that the total number of fake tickets could be as high as 58,533, although only 26,000 tickets were verified to have no actual recorded traffic stop associated with them. The fake traffic tickets made state troopers and constables seem more productive, putting them in line for certain perks and promotions. The thousands of false records also distorted the state's racial profiling traffic stop data, making it appear like police were ticketing more white drivers. Okay, so they routinely beat people to a pulp and lie on traffic reports, but they wouldn't wrongfully detain a family and hold them at gunpoint at a routine traffic stop or anything, would they?
A woman was wrongfully detained and held at gunpoint during a traffic stop last month. We obtained body camera footage where a Florida Fish and Wildlife officer admits he made a mistake. Action News Jackson at Gutierrez is in Lakeshore where the Jacksonville woman was pulled over. Annette, now at 10, you showed us that wildlife officers can make traffic stops in Florida.
Yes, that's right. And the stop we're talking about happened right here near this gate gas station across the street off San Juan Boulevard on Friday, June 23rd. And in the video we're about to show you, wildlife officer Lieutenant Paul Hine admitted to reading a vehicle tag incorrectly, linking it to a report of a stolen vehicle. And the mistake was discovered just minutes later, but even still, it was still traumatizing for all of those affected. Heather Charest says she never expected a night out with friends to end staring down the barrel of a gun.
All right, hands on top of your head.
Yes, sir. I'm so scared.
It's okay. It's okay.
In newly released body camera footage, you can see Florida Fish and Wildlife Lieutenant Paul Hine pulling over Heather Charest and holding her at gunpoint. Her 14-year-old daughter was also in the car, very shaken up.
You know, as a mother, I'm freaking out. I can't get to her. I'm handcuffed in his car. It was extremely traumatizing.
Lieutenant Hine detained her, telling Charest her truck tag was reported as stolen. But a JSO officer arrived on scene and later revealed the reported stolen tag was actually an Ohio motorcycle tag, not a Florida SUV.
We had the issue when we first had our system update.
Okay, let me apologize to them.
While it could have been a system error, Action News Jack's law and safety expert Dale Carson says it could have been a human one.
And of course, FWC does not do routine traffic stops. So an unfamiliarity with the process perhaps led to human error.
Carson says stolen vehicles are considered to be high-risk felony stops, which is why the officer had his weapon drawn.
Officers are trained to use their firearm in making those type of traffic stops because it's a serious felony.
Charest says the FWC officer may have jumped the gun.
I really hope that FWC trains their officers properly because he wasn't making a stop for a Florida Fish and Wildlife endangerment of any kind. He was making a felony traffic stop for a stolen vehicle.
And at the end of the video, Lieutenant Hine is heard apologizing to Charest for the inconvenience. And FWC added on to say they will determine whether additional training or counseling is needed to help prevent mistakes like this from happening in the future.
Gosh, Wally, maybe we should put an end to incentivizing criminality. But wait, there's more this week. The Frisco, Texas police chief issued an apology after a family from Little Rock, Arkansas, who were headed to a basketball tournament, were mistakenly pulled over and their lives jeopardized in a high-risk stop.
An overwhelmed father.
Y'all put a gun on my son for no reason, dog.
Can I explain to you?
Police say it was all a mistake.
I ran it easy for Arizona to the AR.
On July 23rd, a Frisco, Texas police officer ran plates on a black Dodge Charger. But instead of typing AR for Arkansas, she says she typed AZ for Arizona. The information came back as a possible stolen car. Police say it was a high-risk traffic stop, and at least one officer had his weapon drawn.
Everybody in the car, hands outside the window. Hands outside. Maintain your hands outside.
Hey, find out if there's any weapons in the car.
The family tells police they have a gun in the car.
In the glove box! In the glove box!
If you reach in that car, you may get shot, so be careful. Do not reach in the car.
I have bad anxiety. I'm trying.
Demetria Hurd was behind the wheel. In the car were her husband, her son, and their nephew.
Look at my baby!
They were on their way to a basketball tournament. She explains what it was like to see her 6th grade son involved.
They actually bring him in, cuff him, and put him in the car. They're walking him to put him in the police car. And I'm crying, I didn't hyperventilate.
Face away.
She says they were instructed not to move.
Do not move.
My husband explains to me that my nephew is in there literally screaming for his life and telling him, Uncle, we are about to die.
But finally,
The officer made a mistake on the plate. It was ran differently.
the officer realizes it was a mistake.
ARs is Arkansas. it's over.
An incident review is now underway.
I'm not justifying anything. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a computer that read it. It was our human error that did this. And so please forgive us,
I
man.
made a mistake.
The ongoing review would identify further changes to the department's training, policies, and procedures.
I thank God that we were not physically injured, but we have suffered a lot of mental and emotional trauma from this.
And the family is saying they really do just want to share this for awareness. In his statement, the chief of police saying they don't hide from the mistakes. Instead, they learn from their mistakes, and saying he spoke to the family and understands, Paula, why they're so upset.
And a Warren police officer, that's Baldy right here, was charged with 2 misdemeanors after authorities said he punched a man during an arrest in a city jail in the fingerprinting area. He slammed the guy's head against the floor and pushed him into a cell. And the incident was all captured on video, which I can't show you here. 48-year-old Matthew James Rodriguez of Southgate, who's been with the department for more than 14 years, was arraigned on Tuesday on assault and battery, which is a 93-day misdemeanor, and public officer willful neglect of duty, which is a 1-year misdemeanor. Rodriguez was released on a $5,000 personal bond after arraignment in Warren's 37th District Court. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer said that Rodriguez is on unpaid leave. Honestly, with cops like these, who needs criminals? Power appears to corrupt, and absolute power appears to corrupt absolutely. Or maybe it's that power attracts the corruptible. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, the channel links are in the description. Become a channel member, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design that you can get on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, hat, pillowcase, whatever you want. Remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. I will see you in the next video.